Members of the board. From Boardroom Productions, it's Boardroom Banter. Featuring your chairman of the board, David.
What is happening, everybody?
Chief Mayhem Officer, Derick.
Yo, 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 what is up?
And myself, Greg, your Chief of Obscurity. The following content is explicit. Discretion is advised.
Welcome, everybody, to Boardroom Banter. My name is David. To my left is Derick.
What is up?
And this week, we have Greg back to my right.
I'm back, bitches.
Yes. Hope everybody had a great week. Here to start the weekend off the right way for you. Like, share, subscribe if you do like our content. Anyways, not tons to talk about, but I know Derick, man, you were jabberjawing before we hit the button.
Yep. First of all, I would like to make this clear to everybody. We are not the Biforce this week, which was completely David's idea to begin with, which he made me say that last week. So we are the trifecta Triforce again.
I accept you two for exactly who you are.
It's okay.
I don't know why he keeps trying to put...
You're welcome at my table.
He keeps trying to put this on me. I don't really understand where it comes from.
Well, you guys have been crossing wieners for quite some time.
Dude, neither of us are endowed enough to even cross at that point when we were sitting so far away from each other at the table last week.
Well, you know, we don't all have dicky doos, I'm sure.
That's, yeah.
In case you don't know what
it's like a turtle
is.
shell, bro.
Yeah.
In case anybody doesn't know what a dicky do is, it's where your stomach sticks out further than your dicky do.
Yep.
There's a lot of people with that syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sad reality for
some people are
many,
skinny
many
and it just
and
stills that way.
Then they think blue chews are like the answer for them.
That's how you have a heart attack, bud.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially if you don't have to have it prescribed to you and it's coming from like some unvetted area, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Blue Chew. I've never looked into that. Or
I know a whole lot about Cialis, though.
I know one person that was all about the Blue Chews, but who knows how real that is or not.
Was he boofing them?
Probably.
I boofed a Viagra today, and oh my god!
Holy fuck! Could you even imagine?
Like, it like dissolved, and then it found my prostate.
And it
was something else.
Do you think that would cause a rectal prolapse?
Ooh,
would it give your butt a boner?
I guarantee if you boof a Blue Chew, you're definitely going to have a boner longer than 6 hours.
Well, if
like you were seeking medical attention at that point.
Boner, bro. If you boof it, it's going to come out the other end,
it's
right?
It's going to make your butthole turn inside out,
right?
It'd be like Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh my god! Were you born with a tail? What's that sticking out in the back of your pants?
It would be like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was a woman and doing steroids, how big that clitoris would be.
But the other direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the butthole.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. How do you chew it with your butt?
I think Blue Chew is just I don't think you actually chew anything.
Like, what would...
is it like bubble gum or...
What would, like, Kegel exercises for your butt be called?
So, is it blue?
Bagels? My bagel exercises?
Right? I don't know.
Dude, I think Greg just came onto something. Have we been doing it wrong?
Whoa, buddy. Yeah.
The Blue Chew boof.
But Blue Chew, so first you get blue, right? The blue balls, and then you chew. We're forgetting everything, so that's why it doesn't work.
Okay, well, let me ask you
I don't
this.
know. Blue Chew.
Does it give you blue poo?
Oh, man, I've had some pretty gnarly poops in my day, but not blue.
Yeah, I would be concerned.
I've taken a lot of Molly that was blue, too, and it still wasn't blue.
Your gallbladder and shit checked out. If you're
You
having
probably
blue
need
poo.
a whole lot more than that checked out if you're shitting blue.
Yeah, so public service announcement. If your poop is some mysterious other color of the rainbow that doesn't fit into the brown spectrum, you could have gallbladder issues or any other pancreatic issues. You could have some issues.
I mean, green. I mean, dude, everyone's had some green shit.
That's like spinach or like bacteria or phlegm or.
So, talking about poo and asses, this brings me to my first point that I really want to make for the night.
I'm scared.
If that's
you should be.
That's the conversation that brings you.
Anybody
to a point.
that saw Mike Tyson's butt cheeks and those fucking things should be scared.
Dude, that was the most
My
awkward.
God.
KK, but here's my thing. Before we say anything about how awkward and funny it was, that was my first indicator that this thing was a fucking spoof. Like, that's not how a boxing match goes. Like, when you're interviewing someone in a locker room, like, you're not waiting for him to turn around and there's my assless chaps, bud, and fucking
not
Mike
only
Tyson.
that, but dude, just the way it played out was so. It was
Do you
so
think his
comical.
son wanted to see that interviewing him?
Well, I definitely never had Mike Tyson's ass cheeks on my bingo card. That wasn't there. But
Your 2024 bingo card, I
definitely
know.
wasn't.
It's just getting weirder
But
every year.
I will at least say the way it played out was so comical. It was hilarious because the guy is giving him the interview and it was headshot, right? And doing the whole interview, talking to him, I'd say like maybe to chest, but that was about it. And then Mike just leans in, gives him a big old kiss on the cheek and says, "Oh, I love you." And the guy, as he's walking away, he's like, "I love you too." And then the camera pans out to like show Mike's bare ass. Not that it stayed in the same shot, which wouldn't have showed his ass, but homeboy panned it and pulled that camera out. It was if it wasn't scripted, that was played so perfectly to be in production.
First nightmare it gave me is, do you guys remember the guy, was his name Rikishi in WWF?
Yeah.
He used to have his
yeah.
butt cheeks hanging out, and he would give you the, like, he would go smother motherfuckers in the corner of the ring with his butt cheeks, right?
know.
Just,
Like,
that was his finisher.
yeah, that's his finisher. Would
That
you
was
get
his
up after
finisher.
that?
Fuck no, I wouldn't ask for
Dude,
more.
you know that guy didn't wipe good.
There's some dudes out there that ask for more.
Oh, that's
The
No, I
Biforce.
remember seeing that and thinking to myself,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, the last thing I want to see is Rashiki leave a brown spot on any other wrestler's
How
face
funny.
with his butthole.
We never saw him on the McMahon.
You saw that ass.
Do you
There ain't
think
no
anyone-
getting all the way to the bottom of that crack?
Do you
There
think
was some
anyone that
discolor
wrestled
in that.
him? I'm just saying real quick. Do you think anyone that wrestled him had like would go up to him backstage and be like, "Dude, you better if I'm going with you tonight, you're fucking washing that ass crack."
I would
tonight."
have
No.
personally taken him baby wipes.
But I guarantee you that people that wrestled him got pink eye.
Oh,
I
100%.
guarantee you.
Pink Eye was going around that place like a Brooklyn hooker at midnight.
Okay, so
Believe
that was my first little, like, I've watched a lot of boxing matches. I've watched a lot of professional, like, fights. And, like, that was one thing I was like, this is a fucking joke. Like, he's walking away in his assless chaps. Everybody's laughing. Like, this is a joke. This is showing me right now that this isn't a serious fight, is the first thing that came into my mind.
Yeah. Well, I was really disappointed that it wasn't taken as seriously as I thought it would be also. And to me, if they had said this was an exhibition, I would have been 100% okay with anything that happened. Right.
Exhibition, yeah, but
Now-
the way that they tried to play it up,
Yeah, it was the hype that
Yeah.
pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it was sanctioned by the state of Texas, but I mean, come on. But to be honest with you, I've been wanting to share this, and I'm not taking credit for this. This comes from a very, very dear friend. This is somebody who's a brother. I would do anything for this guy. His name's Mike Gibson. He goes by Gibby. Really super good guy. Worked with him for a long time. Our families became friends. I've told you guys a popcorn story.
Yep.
The infamous popcorn story in his Tacoma.
yes, you did.
That Tacoma probably still smells like popcorn to this day.
Okay,
So if you leave me the keys to your house and go on vacation, I'm probably going to prank you. But I'm a pretty nice guy, and I'll come help you clean it up. So now Gibby knows boxing more than anybody else I know. The guy loves boxing. Has participated in boxing and watching professional boxing for, a long time.
Yeah.
So, in a little bit of a social media conversation with Gibby, this is what he had to say about it. And I'm quoting, mainstream media has ruined us. Everything is a conspiracy now. And that's true to some degree. Right. And it really depends on a person. He's not saying conspiracy theories aren't true.
No,
he's not saying they are
no.
true.
It's just that
He's
everything-
saying the expectation.
Well,
right.
it's not the expectation. It's just that pretty much anything that comes out and most people interpret as conspiracy first.
You have to
anymore.
fact check more than ever now
Versus
in our society.
You always have to think it's conspiracy before you actually say, "Oh, this is real."
And also, I want to say that I'm not telling you verbatim anything that Gibby told me. This is my take on what he had to say.
Yeah.
So, if it's incorrect, I hope he pops in and tells me in the comments, but it's not intended to, put words in his mouth. I'm going to paraphrase here and skip some stuff that's it's heartfelt, but it's not really relevant to the point that I'm trying to make. He said he didn't throw a fight. He's 58 years old with, legs with 1,000,000 miles. As a boxer, I think anybody who knows boxing at all knows that footwork is super important. There's a lot of training and drills, in particular movement that goes into it. But boxers, like wrestlers, utilize their hips, knees, and ankles more than the average person. So even though they're in some of the best shape of any athlete in the world in professional boxing, it is really hard on the body. Doesn't matter how good a shape you're in.
Well, yeah.
So he goes on to say that the footwork limits his power and abilities, basically. He said that's boxing 101. And then he goes on to talk about Gibby's 50 now, and I want to give Gibby a late happy 50th birthday. Unfortunately, I was taking care of some things when that was going on, so I didn't get a chance to reach out.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
50, still kicking ass
50.
and taking names. Anyway, I digress. He talks about how this is probably more about Mike Tyson putting to rest some ghosts before he kind of retires and puts himself out to pasture for real. And he's talking about the ghost of Kevin McBride. Those undercards, by the way, on that fight
We're fire.
2 and 3.
Fire.
Man, that third
Fire.
round, the women's round,
Yeah.
those ladies are absolute savages.
So can I go back to the Tyson thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
but
fine.
That ties in my other point that I've heard that there's a lot of speculation going on. So I studied boxing. Like everybody, you guys both know I like fighting. Like my life, like I like it. Like I've been prone to it. Like I used to train at Gene Fulmer Boxing Gym. He was a professional boxer. Like watching this guy at 60-something years old in the ring was still knocking out 20-year-olds.
Yep.
Like it was fucking awesome. But I heard there was a clause, and I watched him biting his glove a lot. You saw how Mike Tyson was setting up. I heard that there was a no uppercut clause, that he could not uppercut Jake Paul in that fight.
What?
That's what I heard.
Okay, I heard some other stuff, but the uppercut.
When he punched him in the neck, you saw him punch him in the neck when he came through. But a lot of people are speculating, and with him biting his glove, and what was Mike Tyson known for? Watch all of his knockouts. What did he do most of the time?
He had a beautiful inside shoulder roll uppercut.
Yes.
Along
and
with
so
a nasty
a
hook.
lot of people are saying right now, which I don't know if it's speculation. I'm thinking it's not by watching it more, but I heard that there was a clause that he could not uppercut Jake Paul in that fight.
Personally, I think it's all speculation. I think it's hearsay. Mike Tyson didn't have his ultimate weapon is his legs. And his legs were not there. You can ask my wife. By midway, before even Roy Jones even called it out, I'm sitting there and I looked at my wife. I was like, "This ain't Mike Tyson. He is not moving like Mike Tyson could move." And I know.
Did anybody else see him stumble when he came out of the walkway?
Yeah.
That's
what
when
I'm
I
saying.
kind of saw
it's
it.
Just if his legs were there, it would have been a much different fight.
And I'm just saying, I don't know if it's speculation. I don't know if it's true. But watching Mike Tyson fight his whole career and the amount of uppercuts the motherfucker threw, and to not throw one in that fight,
He never even went inside though. It was always clinch. It was heavy clinch.
It was.
And then anytime you saw him, he would try and do his little bob weave on the outside, like testing out his legs to do I got it to where, because literally that was his ultimate weapon, was being able to do that little bob weave and then jump inside on you. That guy could cover distance unlike anybody.
And I'm not just sticking up for Tyson because I saw one of my heroes fall, because there was many times in that fight where I thought that Jake Paul was holding back and not knocking Mike Tyson out. There was many fucking times where I saw Jake Paul could have destroyed him.
I think he held punches back in that fight. I think he knew what was up by about second round to early third round.
I do admit, when he went into that fight in the first round, you see how fucking scared he looked on his face, though?
Oh, yeah. He was
like, he looked like
petrified.
he was shitting fucking.
He was petrified.
Yeah. Like he was a dog shitting razor blades.
Oh, I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Mike Tyson is one of the last people on earth I would ever talk shit to.
Yeah.
He's 20 years my senior, and I would still never talk shit to that guy.
After watching that fight, though, I would take a hit for the amount of money that Jake Paul got paid for.
Well,
I mean, yeah, if I was going to get that purse, sure, I'd let him hit me. No fucking problem.
No glove.
Yeah.
bare knuckle.
Yeah, even today. Come on.
That's fine, but I'm not going to willingly get into a fight with that guy for free. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't care how badass you are. You will not walk up to Mike Tyson and talk shit to his face.
I'm going to say right now, like, it was pretty cool that you came out with Heavy D because I'm from Utah. I like the Diesel Brothers. I like what they're about. But first of all, that was way too much showboating coming out. Second of all, how the fuck did you get that truck out that fast?
I'm very impressed with how fast they got that out.
From his till Tyson's, like, there was nowhere for that car to go besides reversing it out of the ring.
Well, that's what they did. They were pushing it in. They weren't driving it. And then, everybody hopped in front and just zipped it right off stage.
But still, the speed at which between that interval between him coming out and Tyson coming out, that was some good work.
Tyson, I give it to you, bro. You still came out in all black like you always did. Came out with no crew. Everybody's like, why did he come out with an entourage? That's never what Tyson did.
Nope. He just came out.
He never came out with an entourage.
He was the executioner. Well, Bernard Hopkins, but still.
Okay. But for the most part, did he, that was Tyson.
Yeah. Tyson was all black.
Tyson was Tyson.
Yep,
I was watching a video of him at 19 years old yesterday knocking out a guy. It was pretty cool.
I think when you're Mike Tyson, you don't need an entourage. It's just known that you're badass.
Did you see that guy that he bit the ear off of when they were talking to him in the
Evander
interview?
Holyfield.
He couldn't even hear today.
Yeah. I watched that fight happen.
Okay, there's one more thing.
Remember that? It was vivid.
And it's not about the fight. But fuck you, Netflix, for your productions and how much money that you have and how you've been streaming shit for so many years. I am very disappointed in you because
I don't think they expected the influx on that particular server at all.
So I'm texting someone from work, right? And they're texting me and they're like, don't tell me what happens. My Netflix just froze. And I'm like, oh, I lost audio, but it hasn't froze yet. And then it froze. And I'm like, what the fuck?
I had one hiccup and that was it. And it came right back on.
We started watching it on the phone because the phone was streaming right away. And then the TV went back on. Then we turned the phone off. Yeah, it was a whole ordeal.
I watched it. I was out of town and I was at one of my brother-in-law's house and my boy was asking me all day, are we going to watch this Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight? And here I am, just it ignited the dad savage in me. And I'm like, fuck yeah, we are. We're going to watch it and we're going to scratch our balls and we're going to be badasses and we're going to watch this. Yeah, I was so excited.
Yeah, until it happened. And then your
like,
balls just kind of like tucked back up inside of you.
I don't even know why I don't like Jake Paul. I think he's just easy.
I just don't like him.
Villain. He's just an easy villain. And it's because he's like
he does good at the
heel. And that was kind of a douche move, like spending $1 million on shoes and fucking shorts.
He's making the production out of it, which. Whatever. I mean, look at Deontay Wilder when he came out and fought Tyson Fury the first time, and
he reminds me of
that he wore, that crazy, gaudy looking. Some demon ass suit thing that he wanted to blame on after the fact when he lost. But
I look at when I look at Jake Paul, I think of Justin Bieber on steroids.
Now that you say it, I can't unsee it.
No, you can't unsee that.
I can't unsee that.
No, it's like Justin Bieber actually grew facial hair and got some muscles.
Well, the thing about it is none of us know Jake Paul personally.
Nope.
Right? Nobody's ever met the guy and shook his hand.
Plays a good heel, though.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Is that actually him, or is that what he's doing because he's like a really smart businessman?
Bro, if I made that much money off a fucking fight, I would, yeah.
It's just all
they're off the shit that he does. But one thing that I didn't get is like, bro, stop it with the spray. Did you see how much time he was spraying that fucking shitty?
Logan was spraying. I don't know what the fuck he was spraying on him, but he was spraying the shit out of him the whole time he was coming out.
They sell it at Walmart now, and it has like a W and then his initials, and he's like, keep going to Walmart. But like, even in the ring, they're spraying it like. I know what that shit smells like. 'Cause you guys know me. I wear a lot of cologne and aerosol products. Like, motherfucker, like if you're spraying that much,
snacks.
like going to the ring, I was thinking Jake Paul was going to pass out with all that shit going on.
I was hoping it would have affected his performance, but it didn't.
Aerosol steroids.
But did you see all that shit just like constantly? He was just spraying it on him the whole time. Oh, you're fucking sleeping on the couch.
Give your nuts a tug.
It is what it is.
I think I'm ready for one of those too. I think it's time we talk about who's not our sponsors.
Oh, our not sponsor? That would be the Golden.
Fuck yeah.
That slid
That
across.
was underhand too, like
Okay.
that.
That was credit.
Wait. Oh, failure.
That's why my favorite basketball team's the Utah Jazz.
There's a lot of finesse and dexterity in that throw, though, sir.
Oh, thank you.
This episode is not brought to you by Boardroom Banter Ale. Boardroom Banter Ale, golden and delicious. Find it nowhere.
Nowhere.
And on that note, I say we have a Triforce cracking of the beers. Ready?
You're welcome,
Are we
society.
drinking beer? Is that what this is?
No, this is water.
Yeah, what's beer?
Yeah. I don't even know what we're
I've
drinking
heard
right now.
It's-
I've heard of beer before.
It is a
I
boardroom.
thought it was stuff that like Vikings drink.
It is a boardroom
what I thought,
banter
too.
product. I like to call it hop water,
Oh,
Oh, hop water. That's pretty good.
except for it's not really hop water. That's actually a thing.
That's true. We actually had some of that
yes,
before.
we did. And I didn't want to
Unfermented.
drive after I had it.
Because it
Remember
makes
that?
your breath
Yeah.
reek.
It does.
Yeah.
It was like having an IPA almost, like,
Yeah.
but it was
But it was
not.
water.
Yeah.
I was scared to death to even drive.
Yeah.
It's like kissing your sister, right? Or something like that. Isn't whatever that saying means? No.
I don't know, bro. I never wanted to kiss my sister.
I have a half sister.
That's not the same. That's
That's
so
still half your sister.
all the
It is.
movies you see
So
on,
which
on
is it the
do you
left half
kiss?
or the right half?
all the movies you see on ph.com are those are Pornhub.
Oh,
Those are step brothers and sisters, not half sisters. So like
All those
these
chicks-
fantasies don't exist with a half sister.
all those chicks who keep getting stuck in appliances and under beds.
Dude, it's getting ridiculous. Actually, like, I'm kind of getting sick of it. So if you want to change your algorithm, like, I've never watched a stepbrother, stepsister, like, scenario because that kind of is weird to me. Like, it doesn't make my blue chew go up.
As it should be.
But
Weird.
that's all that's in, like, the top 3 pages. I don't know why I know that, but...
speaking of that, I saw a Reddit post that I have saved on my phone.
God.
That perfectly will encapsulate exactly what we're talking about right now.
Encapsulate?
And I do love me
Yes.
some Reddit.
All right. Actually, maybe it's a 4chan post. I don't know. You know the background.
I
better than
remember
do.
4chan.
I'll show you the background because you'll be able to poke it out right
It was a
away.
Reddit, 'cause I think you showed me this earlier
4chan.
this week.
I did, I think.
4chan
you
was
did.
around
I think that's
when
4chan.
I was...
I think that's 4chan.
oh, yeah.
What is
All right.
4chan? Is that like 4 Jackie Chan?
It was around when I was kind of in my later teen years
Yeah.
is when it popped up. I
Is it like
think,
foreskin?
Let's just say it's what Reddit
and became-
blossomed from.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it still going today?
Oh, yes.
What's it called?
4chan.
Yeah.
I'll let you discover for yourself.
It's a great website.
4chan.com. Like
Yep.
F
No,
O
the number
no.
4.
Chan.
CHAN?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Then there's 8chan if you really
You
want to go down
might
it.
you might want to do it in private browsing, even though it doesn't really keep your information safe. All it does is not track the history.
What is 8chan?
It's like 2 4chans
Holy fuck.
simultaneous 4chan. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the minivan. Like everybody's heard of the Shocker and the Spocker, but have you heard of the minivan?
So this isn't like the dictionary, but this is like the encyclopedia of whacking off.
Well, there's more than whacking off.
Yeah.
but,
I mean,
but
it's-
there
it's
is
got-
quite a bit of that on.
It's
there,
got
too.
every topic.
Yeah.
Legitimately, it has every topic that your brain could ever think of.
And the nice thing is,
And I'm
is
talking
it's-
even the shit that you, like pops into your brain and you're like, what the fuck kind of thought is that?
And you can
you'll find
put it
on
in there.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. You'll probably find something.
Well, and because I know you've been on Reddit, you know the distinct difference in culture in the kind of people you run into between Reddit and like Facebook or X or Instagram or any of that. It's totally different.
I just wish that these people on Reddit that I met in real life would tell me who they are, because fuck, you guys, some of you guys.
Well, no, I
Jesus
mean,
Christ.
what you read on there, like the tone of it and the thought behind it is way different on Reddit than it is on any of the mainstream
Okay.
platforms.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I know you briefly kind of heard this. I don't know how much you remember of it. Greg hasn't heard anything of this before, but this was posted anonymously on 11/19/2023 on a Sunday at 8:25 p.m.
Oh, Lord.
Guys, me and my sister did the 23andMe, and it turned out me and my sister aren't related at all. We both speculated she was adopted, and we started flirting, and was having sex within a week. A few months pass, and our mom catches us fucking mid-orgasm. She spazzed out, started crying, told Dad, he started vomiting. I told her that we know that she was adopted, and the 23andMe proved it. My mom said she wasn't adopted between the sobs and the cries. I contacted 23andMe support, and they apparently got the results mixed up with someone else. I went to move in with my dad, and I'm not allowed to contact my sister anymore. My sister's freaking out over the fact that she fucked her biological brother. I still want to keep fucking her, though. Do I have a lawsuit here against 23andMe? I feel like they are at fault here.
Can I ask one question?
Scene.
Oh, wait a minute. Time for a question from Derick.
Did you write that with the whole stepsister comment?
Did I?
Was that from? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure.
Like I said, what you were talking about, it perfectly encapsulated
I know
everything
you
that we
just
had
said.
just
Though,
talked
the whole
about.
stepsister thing, and then that was read, and then I don't know if it was like, oh, anonymously this person wrote this, and
It was an anonymous. I don't know. It had a picture next to it. Definitely isn't my
It
face.
sounded like
right.
it should have started with Dear Penthouse Forum.
Oh, well, I'm glad you enjoyed the reading and the telling of that story.
could you imagine being that guy
Dear
though?
Penthouse.
I was okay. So here's a story. That was almost me.
What?
Okay. So my father.
Like brother on brother?
No. So I've got four sisters.
Stalking
I don't
initiated.
talk about this a lot. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My dad was a little bit of a playa. You know, he was a Mr. Intermountain, Mr. Utah, Mr. Wasatch Front. He was a professional bodybuilder his whole life. So I find out in my 20s that I've got a sister that's 6.5 months
Older than
apart
you?
from me.
Older or younger?
I'm older.
So he
She's
had,
younger.
So he had two chicks knocked up at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so,
relevant.
That's getting around.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the thing is, my dad's like, I've got another thing to tell you. I was like, what? He was like, you guys were in the same class, like went to the same high school.
Oh my God.
This might be weird meeting her for the first time. Bro, luckily, like, I only went to that school for like a year and a half, then I went to an alternative school. But the only thoughts I had in my head, and yes, I'll say it, is I was
you get
like,
your dad's
am I
sloppy
gonna
seconds?
fuck my sister? Did I fuck my sister in high school? Like, is that, like, am I going to see this chick walking up and I'm going to be like, oh, man. Like, I punched my dad in the arm and was like, you know, like, fuck. But, like, no, it was crazy. So we went to the same high school, hung out with, like, some of the same people, knew the same crowds, everything like that. But, like, my dad was just banging two chicks at the same time around the same area, and it was really weird.
I have a question.
And even today, I'm 6 months older than her. And yeah.
I have a question, and you don't have to answer it. Did you ever jerk it thinking about her?
I mean, I've jerked it to a lot of things, but not that.
Well, I know there's that billboard just outside the city that you like to park in front of, but
There's a few of those.
yeah.
I
No,
think I know
never did that.
Billboard. Yeah, it's a good billboard.
Yeah.
It really is.
I never did. Yeah, though.
It's
Dude, I was tripping though for a minute, like, because in high school,
Yeah,
some
that-
things happened, things went down. Like I was kind of part of state's custody. I didn't really have a home. There was a whole lot of shenanigans. There was, I was
Yeah.
a fucking wild child. So I was completely like, fuck, man.
Yeah, so I hate. I'm not really so much trying to make light of the situation. I'm just kind of trying to add to how fucking weird that probably was.
No,
for
it
you.
was really weird.
Yeah, the whole time, not like so. You guys didn't like really hang out directly, right? But you were in the same circle.
So she had like this friend that was weird shaped and I didn't find attractive. So
Hold on. What
She said she looked like Janet Jackson. No,
What
she
is
didn't.
weird shaped?
Yeah,
I don't want to offend anybody, but she was a large
I mean,
woman.
I'm familiar with normal shapes of women.
She
what
was-
is weird shaped?
She was fucking large and in charge in 8th grade in fucking woodshop class.
Are we
That's all I
talking
gotta say.
pear shaped, apple shaped, orange shaped?
I gotta
fucking
say,
mango shaped. Like,
there
what?
wasn't-
dodecahedron.
Yes,
there wasn't even a fruit shape from Hey Arnold that you could fucking refer to this chick.
I went to school with a kid whose head is shaped like a Hey Arnold, like
So-
straight football. Anyway, sorry.
But this like chick, like she had wrote me love notes and all this other shit, and like I had straight up told her like you're fucking foul. Like I was rude, like kinda I was a dick.
I had that in high school too.
So like I had met my sister
I
for
was
one of the first times.
I was the person receiving those comments.
No, so like I met her for one of the first times in my 20s, and it was like during a Christmas occasion, right? So she was like, "Do you want to come over to my house? I got a present for you under the tree. You guys can come over. You can hang out. Da, da, da. I might have a friend come over." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." I'm like, "Yeah, I just met my sister. This is fucking cool." So I go over to her house, and this fucking girl walks through the front door, and it was that chick, bro. Like, and it was the most awkward fucking thing in my life. Like, she was like, "Oh, I've loved your brother my whole life, basically." And I was like, "Yeah, I was not into her my whole life, and I avoided her my whole high school career." And,
Oh wow!
oh, dude, it was
Did you take one for the team?
no.
Oh,
All 8 months.
I had
of
an
it.
ex-wife there at the time, so wasn't.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm sure that was.
But it was really weird.
I can't
like, so how
imagine.
connected we really were without knowing each other, but yeah.
with an oddly shaped feller.
Yeah, she was. I mean, I love my sister,
And then she had a friend.
but
who
her friend was
shaped-
oddly shaped.
shaped like a tetherball pole with the ball attached.
I mean, in 8th grade, a lot of people are oddly shaped.
yeah.
Well,
oh,
yeah, I mean,
middle
it's all-
school's a nightmare,
Right? That's the worst.
I mean, I wasn't nothing to look at. I was fucking as fat as I was tall. I don't have no idea why she wanted me back then, but
She saw the potential, bro.
probably.
She saw where it was going.
it was those saggy balls.
Oh. She heard word.
Yeah. You know, in middle school, we should just like when our children are in that prepubescent stage, we should really just hide in caves.
That or just leave them. Don't let them congregate in public.
My
Oh,
kid
yeah,
is
it's
not
a shit show.
My kid is not like he went from 0 to 100 though. Like there's no prepubescent stage. Like he has fucking as much stomach hair as a 30-year-old should have right now. Like his
Right.
chest hair. Like you saw how fucking tall he's gotten. Like holy shit, he's like a man, dude. Like
Yeah.
he shaves like 2 times a week, and he's in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'm like, holy shit,
I was the
All
same
the
way
hormones
at
they're
that
putting in the
age.
food.
dude.
Make America healthy
Something.
again.
I started getting armpit hair in the
Maha.
4th grade. The 4th grade.
I didn't have chest
Yeah.
hair till I was like fucking 20, bro. So for him to have like that amount of chest hair at 13, I'm like, holy shit.
I have been 6'3" since my sophomore year in high school, and buying beer since then too. But that's a different story.
Yeah, I've been this height since sophomore year.
I've been this
I was
since
like
8th grade.
I was like fucking 5 foot going into my freshman year of high school, and then I hit my growth spurt coming to sophomore year, and I got to like 5'8".
So that was my story. I was saying I was a little fat round kid my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I out of nowhere from like 8th grade to 9th grade grew to 6 foot, fucking stretched out, wore the same size shoe, I wore the same size clothes, everything. I probably still got a shirt from
I've
that
only
time still.
grown out since high school. I've never had a 6-pack of abs, but
I take
I've
more
always
after my
been a
mom.
big
My
guy.
mom was a slender chick. She never really gained too much weight. I mean, I got some sisters I can't even fit my arms around. It's sad, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty good genes on my side, but
I see that.
I fluctuate.
David's mom
I got
has got
I got,
it going on.
Shout out to David's
I got
mom.
my quote unquote fat jeans upstairs all the way down to my skinny jeans, depending on what time of the year it is.
I've heard about your jean collection. He's got anywhere from a fucking 29 to a...
Yeah, I got 29 to 34. Just depends on what I'm fluctuating to.
Only if she's 5'3".
See, which is crazy because I wear, that's what this is, like my...
Probably now at my age, I probably won't get into a 29 again.
I
but
will never.
A 32, 30. If I just even exercised and just ate, like, I'd be right there again.
See, I'm a 34, 30 solidly, like the last probably like 6-7 years out of my life. That's where I have a 30-inch inseam and I
could sew your
6 foot.
jeans together to fit around my waist.
It's like a parachute, bro.
Yeah, but they just wouldn't be long enough.
And
Actually, I
being
think
that it's
Derek and I have the same inseam.
We have about the same inseam.
Yeah. And I don't know how many inches taller or whatever or longer, but probably not much.
Bro, it's so these pants I got on are a 30-inch inseam and they're like long on me.
I'm a 32, but I'm 6'3".
Yeah. So I'm a 30 and I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
We're about the same there. It was impossible for me to get abs.
It was impossible for me to buy shirts.
Yeah.
I got to buy them on the Brothers website.
And
I don't even know how to say it anymore. Fuck culture right now.
Fuck you to anybody who doesn't make pre-shrunk shirts because every shirt I buy just goes in the trash can. Because I am an extra large. I'm not buying a 2X because they just get wider after extra large. So extra large, they become a belly shirt. Like if they're not pre-shrunk or if it's a good material, I know you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah. So I have to seek out big and tall places to buy my shirts. There's a particular website I like to use, and I think I've told you about it.
Yep.
And they have stuff in your size. I'm telling you, it's worth it.
I need to try it. Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I get their magazines in the mail because I've bought a bunch.
Bro, that's half my problem. Like, I'll go to the store and I'll get a shirt, and like, there's so many shirts that I end up never wearing after like the first or second time that I dry them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I lift my arms up and I'm like, I'm not wearing a fucking belly shirt today. This was longer before.
Yeah.
Well, my poor wife has spent so much money on shirts for me that she saw that were really cool and she knew I would like, but then like I lift up my arms and I'm showing off my belly button, right? And I just feel bad for her because, you know, and anybody who wants to buy me clothes, shirts are usually the worst thing. You could buy me a hat, but it's got to be big, right? And I appreciate every gift I get. I always feel really, really bad when someone buys me something like that and then it doesn't fit. I feel terrible because I'm just an oddly shaped person. Shirts and shoes have to be very specific. I have to wear specific brands.
You're pretty uniform to me.
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't say you're oddly shaped.
You're not like fucking Jabba the Hutt.
You're not like a Quasimodo.
Yeah, our viewers here, they're like, oh, picturing this fucking...
I'm 400 pounds and I do nothing but play World of Warcraft. And
That's not true, sir.
Comes in on a little scooter.
Yeah. I'm that guy at Walmart where you're like, damn, he needed 2 scooters.
Okay, I got a scooter story for y'all.
Oh, boy.
Scooter story.
So
Scooter
yesterday,
stick?
I like
yesterday,
scooter stories.
I get told, take someone home.
You took someone home?
So I first had to take him to the bank to deposit a check, which he's in a wheelchair. So I had to pull the wheelchair out, get him in there. I'm wheeling him into the bank, and like, dude, how many people rush to the door to open up a door for you when you're pushing somebody in a wheelchair is fucking outstanding.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that because
That's
the world
polite
needs
society.
more of that shit.
That's polite society.
But the more awesome thing is I'm trying to get a motherfucker through a doorway that I've never pushed a fucking wheelchair through a doorway, okay?
Oh,
so
boy.
there's a banker standing there, and I straight up rolled over his foot. Like, fucking both wheels. Like, I fucking felt it. And he was like, I was like, oh, man, I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I was in your way. And I was like, oh, having this wheelchair
That's
is
a
kind of
polite
fucking
guy
cool.
right there. Yeah.
So
Everybody's so afraid.
I go in there. There's nobody in there, right? And there's like fucking tellers at these big like podiums, and there's one at their desk, and they're like, "Oh, you can choose anyone you want to go to." And I'm like, I can't fucking wheel this guy up to a podium. Like, he has to go to the desk. He's in a wheelchair. So I take him to the thing, and he's like, "I need this check to be good today." And they're like, "There's going to be a hold on that check, sir." And he was like, "I've been baking with you for 38 years." And so the manager came out and cleared the check. So that's beyond the story.
Badass.
It's fucking pissing down rain. I have to push this guy back out, put him in the fucking van, put his wheelchair in there. And then he's like, okay, take me home. So I take him to the retirement center in town. And he was like, can you do me one more favor, son? I'm like,
only if you list me in your will as a son.
If I give you a Werther's original.
I'm like, what's this favor? He was like, can you wheel that piece of shit wheelchair in and around for me? And you'll see a pretty nice powered scooter sitting there. Can you bring that out to me? And I was like, bring it out to you? He was like, you can drive it if you want. I was like, okay. So, dude, I didn't know. So I walk in. It smelled so fucking bad, by the way. Going into an old folks' home, and it was about chow time, too. So, like,
It's
whatever
an
country
odd
fried
smell.
steak they were making and whatever shit that,
Yeah.
you know,
it's an odd
Benny
smell.
in room 2 had going on.
It's a smell that I will never forget.
So I walk in there. I turn right. I see this fucking powered scooter. I don't know how to operate this. There's a power button, and there's like a little switch, and I see like all the way on. So I turn it all the way on. I press the power button. I hit the little joystick. The motherfucker pilled out, right?
Nice.
Like made a sound like
had a Tesla battery.
the nurse sitting at the front desk stands up and looks at me on this thing. And I kind of froze, and I was like, he told me I could drive it. And I was like, I'm taking it out there. So without even her saying anything, I just start going. And dude, these things are so nimble. Like the little thing, like, fuck, it was like I couldn't even go straight with it.
Oh, wow.
So
The
I take-
joystick style.
Dude, so I take it out there to him, and I'm like, dude, this is a machine. And he was like, you have that thing all the way up right now? And I was like, I don't know how to turn it on. And he was like, that's awesome. He was like, I've never had this thing all the way up yet. And he was like, it will do 30 miles an hour with my fat ass in it. So, like, I pilled out. Like, it was pretty awesome. Like, yeah. So he got in and it went back in. I was like, it's chow time. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm hungry. And just fucking willed in there. Never said another thing to the guy. But
Did he turn it down before he took off on you?
yeah. Dude, I had it, like, all the way up. And he was like, oh, this is brand new. I've never had it up that high.
That's awesome.
I didn't know what to do, though.
Well,
Oh, man, that's pretty great, and I'm sure he appreciated it. I can almost picture the person. I'm wondering. I'll ask you later, but
Yeah.
it reminds me of somebody I know, and yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
I like it.
Yeah,
I have a story like that. but-
picturing Derick trying to operate a
yeah,
scooter.
I have a story like that. We can get that to another time because I don't know. Kind of feeling like it's time, my friends.
Yeah, I think
It's a sad.
I know if we go too much
sad
longer
affair.
than this, that llama's going to come in here. And
Fuck
we're gonna
that
have to
llama.
Deal with that bastard
Piece of
again.
shit.
With having Greg back, time has flown.
It has. It has. I hope everyone enjoyed the episode tonight. We'll see you next Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern. Why do I fuck that up sometimes?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, llama.
Howdy.
Good night.